welcome to the second edition of Rams Quick Highlights. I'm Justin Prince. Today's edition is presented by VistaPhone. Top phones for low prices. We've already completed week 2 of the 2015 preseason, which means it's time to move on to week number 3. Indianapolis versus St. Louis. It was the first preseason home game for the St. Louis Rams at the Edward Jones Dome this preseason, as both teams came in with 0 wins in the preseason, and they were both fighting for a victory here, as Nick Foles would take the field first for the St. Louis Rams, coming in with 92 yards passing, and he would improve that in this game as he would start off by finding Kenny Britt for his first completion on the third down reception, his first reception as well for Britt. And on 2nd and 8, he'll find Britt again. That'll be a gain of about 11 yards to set them up at the 45-yard line. And on the next play, play action for Foles, he would find Jared Cook, the tight end, for a few-yard reception, and that was about for 12 yards. But on 3rd and 8, it would be an incomplete pass as this one's overthrown. That would set up a field goal. Foles starts off 4 for 6 on his first drive for 44 yards. As Andrew Luck hoped to get lucky in this one, as the Colts were seeing him throwing 197 yards so far in passing coming into this one. And it would start off pretty decent for him, as he would find Frank Gore, who would break a few tackles. The former San Francisco 49er gets him a first down with an 8-yard reception. Then on the next play on a play action, Andrew Luck hoping for some luck deep. Yeah, that's not lucky at all, as Moncrief steps out of bounds on the deep bomb. Very close though. And on 3rd and 12, Luck still looking for some luck as he finds Frank Gore here on the short pass. And unfortunately, he's not lucky at all, as that would be short for that pass there. It'll lead to a 4th down and a punt. And Trey Mason would come down the field in the middle of a big drive as the Rams would answer back with a momentum-filled drive. As Nick Foles on 1st and 10 after the rush by Mason would pass it to Mason on the screenplay to get them down inside the 30-yard line. And Foles was continuing to be on fire on 3rd and 17. 3rd and 17, he would back up and find Kenny Britt again for a touchdown. And that would be the first touchdown of the game. That penalty would be roughing the passer. Penalty declined. 10-0 Rams going into the second quarter. And that would set up the second stringers as Brian Bennett would hand it off to Daniel Horan to start off the first drive for the Colts in the second quarter. As that would be a 21-yard rush to start off the Colts day for the second stringers. And then on 3rd and 1, it would be Bennett backing up to pass and finding Weldon up the middle for a first down. But he would go down with an injury. The injury you can see at the end of this highlight package. And 1st and 10 once again, it would be Bennett on play action. And you can tell the pressure was coming a lot in this matchup. He would get sacked multiple times and put under pressure another dozen times in this one. As on the 3rd and 10 situation after that sack, he would find a man but can't get the completion. He starts off 1 for 2 for 8 yards and that'll lead to a first field goal for the Colts. But on the next drive, Bennett was even better than the first drive. He would throw this one deep to Andre Johnson, as Johnson, the former Houston Texan, would have his first touchdown of the game and the first touchdown for Bennett in this one as well. And that would set up Austin Davis in the second stringers for the Rams, who were hoping to get some momentum as Tavon Austin will start off this one with a short completion there. Austin Davis started 1 for 5 for 9 yards. And Davis continued to struggle but hoped to turn it around on 3rd and 10 as he would find Lance Kendricks up the middle for about, I'd say, about a 20-yard gain. But that would lead to a field goal to set them up. The Rams up 13-10 going into the tunnel for halftime with 155 passing yards. And this game stayed close as the pressure would continue to come for Bennett throughout this one. Michael Brockers would get the sack right there to get a 3 and out to start off the third quarter. And Case Keenum would come in for the St. Louis Rams. And he started off pretty bad as this one's tipped away and picked off by Nate Irving. And Irving would run this one down to the 35-yard line. And it would be Colts ball just like that by a bad pass by Keenum. Bennett would start off this drive by throwing this one and almost getting picked off. And would find Carter for the touchdown. And just like that, the Colts were on top 17-13. And after a field goal, Case Keenum hoped to step things up, and he would, finding Kendricks, a big-time favorite for the second stringers for tight end, as he started 5 for 10 to set up a field goal to give the Rams a 19-17 lead in the fourth quarter. And Bennett would have to work hard to bring his team success. And unfortunately, he couldn't, because he would get sacked for a safety in the end zone, 21-17. But in the final 2 minutes, he would turn it around, as he would end up finding Johnson on the sideline area for a gain of a few yards on 3rd and 4. Then on the play afterwards, he would back up to pass and throw this one to the side again to Johnson into Rams territory. 127 yards passing at this point. And on 4th and 10, though, Bennett would get some luck, as he would throw this one to an open man, in fact, no man's land, an open defender, but the call is pass interference on nobody. That was a surprising call for everyone in the stadium, as that would set up the Colts with 27 seconds to go to find Frank Gore in the end zone, and that would give the Colts the lead, which meant Sean Mannion had to step it up on the Hail Mary pass with 2 seconds to go, and he would not, as that would be first a holding call and second a dropped pass for an incompletion, as the Colts win this one 24-21. Now Griff Whalen, the wide receiver injured earlier in the game, suffered a shoulder tear and he's out for the next 4 weeks, while Brian Bennett had a very nice game with 3 touchdowns in total.